Hello and welcome to this new series where what we're going to do is look at building a side-scrolling game. Now, we're not going to be going ahead and sort of doing a getting up and running, get started tutorial as I have in the as I already have in my YouTube here. What I'm actually looking at here is more sort of the creation of a demo or a prototype. And so this series is not really intended with the purposes of being a actual complete tutorial, as in the sense where I'm going to be saying, you know, do X, do Y. Instead, it's just sort of going to be, you know, sort of me working along. And if you like what I'm doing and you see the reasons why I'm doing that and you like it, then, you know, by all means, you know, let me know and I'll continue. So as I said, it's not really going to be a sort of tutorial. It's just sort of going to be me developing a sort of prototype. And, you know, if you like it, you know, let me know and we'll continue with this. So first of all, I want to start by creating some art. Okay, so I'm beginning here in Max and I'm going to be creating a sort of sci-fi style side-scrolling game. So what I want to first do is I want to line up the units. So we can do that by going to the unit setup. Make sure we're set to centimeters, which I am here. System unit setup, and 1 unit equals 1 centimeter, and press OK. And press OK. So once we've done that, what we've done is we've aligned the max grid to be the same as the one inside Unreal. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go to the front view and I'm going to create a plane. And I'm going to press G to remove the grid, and I'm going to go with a length of, let's see, maybe 500 by, let's try 260 maybe. So it's not supposed to be exact. I actually do have a reference we're going to be placing on this to be creating our sci-fi panels. So this is too big. So let's try something a little more square. Let's try 500 by 500. So this looks like it's going to be a little closer. I'm going to press the M key to bring over material, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in a reference I have. So I have a reference, it says side scroller reference, and if I right click this and choose preview, we can see what this is. This is just something that I've taken off Google for reference. Now we're not going to be creating this exactly. We will replace these holes with screws, and we'll probably not have this sort of meshed effect here in the center. However, we will keep the light along the top, so that looks pretty cool. So let's bring this in, place this onto our plane. Now, by the looks that it's not exactly the right size, but that's fine. And we don't want to sort of go off scale here. I want to keep this values of values that can be multiplied by 10 quite easily, as I know that Unreal uses a base 10 system. So let's see. So what we want to do is I'm going to convert this to an editable poly, and even though this is a reference, we're going to split this up into 4, because if we look at this, we can actually create this into one small section and then mirror this around. So let's just undo that so we can only see the faces here. Let's set this to 1 by 1, and then we can convert this to an editable poly. So once we've done that, I'm going to right click, choose connect, and I'm going to do that twice, and we're just going to delete each quarter, and we'll just build this section by section, and then we can add symmetry to these. So now we have that, we are ready to get building. Now I'd like to apologize for my voice, as as I'm a little ill, so may not sound too good. So I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to press M, just assign a blank material to this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the opacity down to, let's try about 5 or so. Normally you could add an animated material and just move across, but I'm not going to worry about that. So let's go ahead and choose connect, and I'm just going to start adding some connects here, and what we're going to do is actually flesh out the shape. So we can go along here, something like this, and we need another one. Now this is going to be a high polygon version, so not really too bothered about where these edges go, just so long as they they look right when they're done. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to pull these out, and I'm going to take this and this, I'm going to add a connect along there, and let's just have a look what we get in here. So let's add a connect here, and we can straighten this one and do this, and then let's take this and this, and we can connect that, and I'm going to take this edge and push up. Okay, so this is the shape we have. So what I'm going to do is each one of these, including this down here, is we're going to right click and we're going to choose inset. I'm going to do this by, let's see, perhaps 2 centimeters. That's fine, and that value should be stored, so we can go to here and choose inset, and we got 2 here. Now we have gone ahead and inserted this. Now this is actually going to be lined up according to these vertexes here, so we don't need to worry about placing or moving these vertexes on the top or side. So let's go back around and select each one of these. Now actually what we do need to do, so there is some vertexes that we need to remove. We need to move these ones around, and so to do that I'm going to take this vertex and I just want to see where this is in Z, so we can take those Z values. I'm going to press Ctrl C and I'm going to Control V those, and let's see where this one is. We're going to delete this in a minute, so let's copy these, and I'm going to set this and delete that, and this. Let's select all of these, and we need to do the last one on the, actually we don't need to do this, so we need to take this, we need to pull this back out. So we're just going to do an edge extrude here, so we need the Z value, and we're going to target weld this up here, and let's paste this Z value. There we go. Okay, so now we need to go back around and select those pieces again. So let's select these, and these ones. So there will be some cleanup we need to do over here, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to insert these to it roughly around the shape that we need, and we're going to pull these out. And once we've done that, I'm going to go to insert and just have a small insert, and we're going to push these out again. So this is just going to create a nice smooth edge when we go to smoothing this. So let's take these and insert this by 2 like before, and we're going to go ahead, choose extrude. I'm going to line this up. Looks like we should have taken this one too. And we can scale this in. And we can go ahead, insert this in small amounts. So somewhere approximately around the same size, not really too bothered. You can go ahead and be super precise with this if that is what you want, but I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and change the opacity back up to 100. Okay, and you can see that this is where we need to have some cleanup right here. So let's take these polygons right here, select them, and all we're going to do is simply delete them, and we're going to take this and we're going to take this value right here, and we're going to take all these, and what we're going to do is we're going to first of all scale them in, and we're going to move these into the same position. There we go. So this is us slowly getting there in terms of the shape. Now we do need to go ahead and add that light in, and we do want to turbo smooth this. So let's go ahead and let's add a turbo smooth to this, and then we can start to fix the areas that need to be fixed. So you can see that we have this very smooth this smoothness, which is really number 1. So what we can do is we can go to connect, and we're going to set this to 2 and drag it up. Now the reason I do this and edge loop like this is that these are easy to remove if we need to do that. So simply taking the edges and chamfering them, that's another method. But the problem is that when you need to go ahead and do some cleanup, it can be troublesome. So let's stick to this method. So let's go ahead and keep connecting these, and looks like we're on the borders there. Press OK. Let's see what this gives us. So we're close. We need to fix the centerpiece right across here, so we can go ahead, choose connect. We need to fix along here. So I'm just going to push this out just a little bit. Now remember, this is actually the high polygon version, so if it looks fine, then it's going to be fine. So I want to select this. I want to set the iterations up to 2. That's just going to make it a little sharper. So as you can see here, if I set this down to 1, here, you can see that we have this normal problem right here on the corner. So I'm going to set this to 2, so we have a nice clean sharp edges. And let's just move around and see what we have. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take these, and I'm going to choose edge here. I'm going to push these up, and the reason I'm doing that is I want to get sharper edges. So I'm just going to push these, and this is going to give us sharper edges. So right here you can see we don't particularly have a sharp edge and we can't really select them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take these and push them up, so we can do something like this. Okay, so let's just go back to our reference. So we had a reference, where is it? Over here. So let's go to preview. So the bottom pieces also need to be deleted. So we need to take the bottom here. So we need to take this value and we need to turn this off so we can actually get access to the Z. Let's take these and delete them. We'll take these. We'll need to take all these actually. And we can take this, and this, and we can go ahead and delete them. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and double click this. I'm going to pull this down. And I'm going to go ahead and paste this Z value. Now, looks like we have an issue right here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so we just need to delete that. And then we can take these, scale them. And we can paste this in Z. So what this gives us now is this bottom edge that should be nice and straight, and will be ready for us to connect to the rest. So let's just turbo smooth that. There we go. Now the other thing I have noticed is that this needs to be pulled in just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to select all these pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and choose grow. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to scale this in so it looks to be about the same as the rest. So this just gives us a little bit of leeway. So I'm going to take these and we need to do that. There we go. So now you see we have most of this ready. So just checking the time there. I think what I'm going to do is run this to be around 30 minutes or so. So looks like we need to do some manual cleanup here. I'm going to go ahead and take these and move them along. There we go. Okay, so this needs to be duplicated 4 times now, and we still need to add those lights. So let's go ahead and add the lights in here. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to set that opacity back down to about 5. Okay, so let's look at how we can do this. So I'm probably going to use, so okay, I'm going to go to connect, and we only wanted one of these. Actually 2 is fine, we just need to bring this down a little bit. There we go. And we can go ahead, scale this so it's absolutely straight. And we're going to do the same here, so let's scale this and then pull this up. Then what we can do is we're going to take these edges and move them over. And right here, we're not actually going to add this little small section here. We're just going to cheat this and use this shape right here. So once we've done that, let's go ahead and choose insert and insert again. And we're going to do 2 inserts because we're going to pull this in. Then we're going to go ahead and choose bevel. Do something like this. Select these. Then we can go ahead, place in, and do that, and let's see what this looks like. So that's not too bad actually. I'm not too bothered that it's got a slight smoothness. We could go ahead and add some edges in there to make it a little bit to add some straightness to it, but I think it's going to be fine. Not too worried. What we'll do here at the back is just add a texture for light, and that will simulate this light right here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, or the last thing we're going to do to this, is we're not actually going to add this meshing right here. Here and here. However, what we will do is where these holes are, we'll go ahead and create like some small screws. So let's go ahead and I'm actually going to choose a box for this, and you'll see why. So I'm going to create a box, and I'm going to give this maybe 5 by 5 by 5, and I'm going to go ahead and add segments to be 8 by 8 by 8. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want even polygons, but I also want this to be a sphere, so we can go ahead and use a spherify. Oops, spherify, let's see, where is it? There it is. So now you can see we have quads all over, and we're not really going to get the triangles on the top we'd get from a regular sphere that we'd create. So I'm going to scale this up just a little bit, set this into position, and it looks like I've scaled this a little bit, but that's fine because it's going to be scaled anyway. Let's take the pivot, scale this down even further. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take these polygons right here in the center. Yeah, right here. And well, actually what we're going to do first is we're going to take these and we're going to align these on the Y. There we go. Now we can take the polygons, choose insert and insert again, and pull this in. Now the reason I like to use insets instead of an extrude is when we go ahead and oops, there we go. When we go ahead and bake the normal maps, I still want the ability to capture some of this information. If it's completely flat, when the rays come in from the front or the side, then it's actually just going to capture no polynomials. So Let's go ahead and flatten this in, I believe, there we go. Z, there we go. And we can go ahead, add a turbo smooth. And we get something that looks pretty close to a screw. So let's go ahead, assign this material. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these around. So first of all, I'm going to move these into position. Like this. You can see here we have these shadowing problems, that's fine. So let's take these two. So if we want to get rid of that shadow, what we need to do is just set this to be shaded. Not remove those shadows. And we will need to place these differently in a minute. Okay, so we have all these into position. What we're going to do now is just go background and just rotate them in random directions here. So you can see here that this is not exactly lined up, but that's okay. What we can do is we can just move these up, and I'm going to do the same here, move these up. And I'm just going to go around and just randomly rotate these. It's just going to help in selling the effect that these are genuine. They're not just textures that are all placed in the same direction. And let's take these two. We need to move these up a little. There we go. And we can rotate these. So none of them are in the same exact rotational position here. So that's all I want to do. Okay, so once we've done that, I'm going to go to the left view. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to go to unhide all. And we're going to place this just in front of the geometry here. And this will give us what is known as floating geometry. So when the light rays for the normal map going from the front here, then it's still going to capture this information. Okay, so once we've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's just quickly hide this, and I'm going to collapse these. They're only screws actually, so we can just attach these all together. And now we're only really doing this is because we're going to mirror them. So I'm going to go to effects pivot, and I'm going to set this to 0, and you can see that we have this off axis. It's because because we rotated these, so the X forms was a little off. Let's go to unhide all. Let's select this, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose cut, and I'm going to remove the turbo smooth. Then I'm going to go ahead and choose symmetry, and I'm going to choose Y, and I'm going to go ahead and choose symmetry again. This time I'm going to choose X. I'm going to choose flip. Now we can go ahead, right click, choose paste, which will let that back on top. Then we can take this, and I'm gonna set this to be 0, 0, 0, and we're gonna go ahead and choose symmetry. Choose Y. There we go. Symmetry, just say flip. Okay, and so this is what we got. I'm going to take this and delete it. We don't want this no more. I'm going to take this, assign the material to all of these, set this to be black, and so there you see we have the back of our sci-fi panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video here. Well, actually I'm going to stop the video, but I just want to fix these issues right here. Let's see, looks like they're not fully at the bottom here, so let's just take all of these and I just want to scale these. Yeah, I'm going to set this to 0. There we go. So I think that's fixed these. Yeah, and we have these right here. So we need to set, we also need to set these to be 0. So let's take, there we go. So it looks like we still have some issues here. So we just need to go ahead and fix these. I think that's fixed them all. There we go. We can clean this up if we want, move these around. Totally up to you. Okay. So that's going to do, there we go. So I'm going to press the P key, go to perspective, and we can have a look at our panels. So this is the actual high poly panel. The actual low poly one is just going to be a single plane. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to pause this video right here. So we're at 31 minutes. I'd like to thank you for watching, and in the next video we'll continue to build up our panels when we look at creating the normal maps. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.